Good morning, grade 9s. Today we're going to look at parallel lines. Okay, parallel lines are lines that will never cross because they run parallel to each other, which means that on the one side, if they are 5 centimeters apart, they will also be 5 centimeters apart on the other side. Let's look at what happens when two parallel lines are cut by a transversal. Special angles are formed, and we normally refer to these as the fun angles. The corresponding angles, which is in the shape or it forms the shape of an F, the co-interior angles, which is the form of a U, and then also the alternate angles, which is in the form of a Z or a N. Let's look at the corresponding angles. I always remember this by saying to my class, I'm walking down the corridor and I see a big F. Okay, it's normally the F shape, which means if you look at the picture on the right, that angle 4 will be equal to angle 8 and angle 3 would be equal to angle 7. Please, it's very important that those two lines are given that they are parallel. Let's have a look at a question with corresponding angles. They say to you, calculate the size of x and y if AB is parallel to CD. So here it was written up in the wording that AB is parallel to CD. It's not indicated on the picture, but it has been given. So we can go ahead and have a look at the corresponding angles. Can you see that x would be equal to 120 degrees? And can you see that y would then be equal to 60? Both of these have the reasons of corresponding angles, and very important, that is just half of your answer. The other half is that AB is parallel to CD. You have to say which lines are parallel. If you don't give that, if you don't write that up in your reason, your whole reason is wrong and you won't even get a mark for saying that they are corresponding angles. Please, people, with all three of these, you have to say which lines are parallel. Then the alternate angles, I always remember them as, I listen to alternative music, and that's n, z, n, z. Okay, alternative music, that is the N and the Z shape, and we call them alternate angles. So if you look at your picture on the right, can you see that angle 4 would be equal to angle 5? And can you also see that angle 3 would be equal to angle 6? A question for alternate angles is calculate the angle size of x and y if AB is parallel to CD. So again, parallel lines have been given, so we are given the go-ahead to work with the fun angles, the alternate angles. Okay, can you see that x would be equal to 60 if a z is drawn there? And can you see that y is equal to 120? Again, the reason would be alternate angles, and NB, you have to say AB is parallel to CD. Co-interior angles. Now this one is different to the other two angles by saying that the two angles do not equal to each other, but that the two angles added together will give you 180 degrees. So I always say the little bowl, the little bucky. So if you take your hands together and you form a little bowl, that those two angles on the inside, if they're added together, they will give you 180 degrees. So please note, if you look at angle 4 and angle 6, they are not equal to each other like the other two angles, the other two parallel lines. We are going to say that 4 and 6 added together will give you 180 degrees. Let's have a look at a question. The co-interior angles, calculate the value of x. So we're going to say, all right, our co-interior angles, the two angles added together should give you 180 degrees. So 2x plus 43 plus the other angle, which is 2x minus 3, should give you 180 degrees. Your reason is co-interior angles, and sorry, it wasn't labeled there, but AB is parallel to CD. Okay, it has been indicated on the line, but the line hasn't been named, so I just named it AB and CD. Okay, then if you have to go do the question, you simplify the left-hand side. 2x plus 2x is 4x. 43 minus 3 is a plus 40. If you put that positive 40 over to the other side, it becomes a negative 40. So 4x is equal to 140. Divide by 4 on each side, and you get x is 35. Okay, and that is it. Just a recap on all three of them. You get the if you get the corresponding angles, you will say, I'm walking down the corridor and I see a big F. So corresponding angles is the sign of the, or it looks in the side, forms the shape of an F. Then if you look at co-interior angles, let's do the second one first, sorry. Alternate angles, I'm listening to alternative music. It's got zzz, zzz. Okay, it's the form of an N or a Z. That's alternate angles. And then lastly, which is different to the other two, you get co-interior angles, which means the two angles inside that bowl, the two angles inside added together will give you 180 degrees. Okay, thanks for watching grade 9s. Enjoy your day. Goodbye.